Hello and welcome. This is Trending Daily and I'm Makhdoom Shahabuddin. Tonight we focus on a major shift quietly taking place in regional geopolitics. A shift that even Indian strategic analysts are now being forced to acknowledge. 1 year after Operation Sindoor, Pakistan has not emerged isolated or weakened. Instead, Pakistan's geopolitical importance has once again become indispensable to major global powers. And interestingly, this admission is no longer coming only from Pakistani observers. It is now appearing inside India's own diplomatic and strategic circles. Recent essays written by former Indian diplomats T.C.A. Raghavan and Sharat Sabharwal reveal a growing realization in New Delhi that Pakistan continues to hold critical geopolitical value in an increasingly unstable region. For years, India has attempted to project the image that Pakistan was becoming strategically irrelevant on the global stage. Operation Sindoor in 2025 was presented as a turning point that would isolate Islamabad diplomatically and permanently weaken Pakistan's international standing. But 1 year later, the reality looks very different. Even Indian analysts now admit that Pakistan's diplomatic relevance has actually increased since the crisis. This is a major development. The biggest reason behind this shift was Pakistan's role during the 2026 Iran-US regional crisis. At a time when tensions in the Middle East were dangerously escalating, Pakistan emerged as one of the few countries capable of maintaining communication with all major players simultaneously. Islamabad remained engaged with Tehran, with Washington, with Riyadh, with Beijing, and with several regional capitals at the same time. This demonstrated something extremely important to the international community. Pakistan still possesses a rare strategic advantage: the ability to communicate across rival blocs without becoming completely dependent on any single power center. That capability made Pakistan diplomatically valuable once again. And now even Indian commentators are being forced to recognize it. This also shattered another major narrative: the assumption that Pakistan could be diplomatically isolated. Instead of isolation, Pakistan managed to strengthen its relevance during one of the most sensitive regional crises in recent years. Global powers increasingly understood that ignoring Pakistan was simply not realistic. Because geography matters, regional influence matters, and strategic access matters. And Pakistan continues to occupy one of the world's most important geopolitical locations, connecting South Asia, Central Asia, the Middle East, and the Arabian Sea. Pakistan remains deeply tied to regional security and economic calculations. This is why predictions about Pakistan's collapse repeatedly fail. Pakistan has faced wars, sanctions, economic pressure, and security challenges throughout its history. Yet despite all difficulties, the country continues to remain strategically important in global politics. Another important point emerging from Indian strategic discussions is the realization that military pressure alone cannot reshape South Asia. Operation Sindoor may have created headlines, but even Indian analysts now admit that it did not fundamentally alter Pakistan's strategic posture or diplomatic standing. In fact, Pakistan demonstrated resilience diplomatically, politically, and strategically. Pakistan's calm and transparent approach after the Pahalgam incident also gained attention internationally. Islamabad's call for a neutral investigation projected confidence and responsibility at a sensitive moment. This helped Pakistan counter attempts to build an international consensus against it. At the same time, the world itself is changing. International politics today operates less on emotional narratives and more on practical interests. Major powers now prioritize stability, connectivity, and strategic utility. And Pakistan's importance in Afghanistan, Iran, regional trade routes, and broader Asian security continues to make it impossible to ignore. The growing acknowledgement from Indian analysts reflect this new reality. South Asia today stands at a critical crossroads. One path leads towards constant escalation and recurring crisis. The other path focuses on regional connectivity, trade, diplomacy, and managed competition. Pakistan's increasing diplomatic engagement shows that Islamabad is trying to position itself as a stabilizing regional actor capable of constructive dialogue with multiple global powers. Of course, Pakistan still faces economic and governance challenges internally, but the country's renewed geopolitical relevance creates significant opportunities for economic recovery, investment, and regional cooperation. And perhaps the most important takeaway from all of this is simple. Despite years of pressure and repeated predictions of isolation, Pakistan remains a country whose role major powers still need. That is the strategic reality now being acknowledged not only internationally but increasingly inside India's own diplomatic establishment as well. Pakistan's geopolitical utility has once again become indispensable to major powers. And that reality is becoming harder to deny with every passing day. This is Trending Daily. Thank you for watching.